Grateful for design. This project includes words that are connected to grateful. So let's get started. This is again from Mr. Knotts. Thank you, Mr. Knotts. We're going to be talking about what it means to be grateful. It's thankful, appreciative, glad, and joyful. So today we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to have to write some names down or some words down. On a piece of paper, list the things that you are grateful for. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. First, going to write down some things that I'm grateful for. Let's see. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my students. I am grateful for books. / stories. I'll come back to that and see what I want to really talk about there. And then let's see, what else am I grateful for? I am grateful for my health. I'm glad I'm healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and write down a couple more things. You want to write down a lot of things, and then you're going to choose about 6 of them or so, 7 of them. So I'm going to make sure at least I have 7, and I might go farther than 7. I'm grateful for movies. They take me away and escape. I get to escape from some of my worries of the day. I am grateful for I don't know how to say this. Food. It's not so much that I'm grateful for food in the sense that eating, but I guess it's kind of connected to health. That I am grateful for food that can help me with my health. What else am I grateful for? See, family covers a lot of things. I could go my wife, my children. I might put that over here. Wife, children. If you want to name each person by themselves, you can also do that. So I'm just going to put that over here just in case I want to do that. I am grateful for nature. I know Mr. Knotts did that one, and I was like, yep, nature. That's one of the reasons I like green, because it's the color of nature, and nature's so important. I guess we can kind of connect that to food too. Nature gives us a lot of energy and things like that, so I'm grateful for that. All right, so what else am I grateful for? Woo, there's so much. It's so hard. Let's take a look really quick at what Mr. Knotts decided to do, because there are some similarities. Oh, look at that. He has a couple things there. My home, art, nature, health, YouTube. I'm grateful for my home. I'm going to go ahead and take that one. I've been living in my house for about a year now. I was lucky enough that my in-laws allowed us to build our home on their backyard, and so I'm very grateful for that. So let's see what else he has done. Let's see, nature, art, music, my family, my home, health, YouTube. I think I'm going to stop right there. All right, so now that I have my list, family, students, books, stories, health, movies, food, nature. I think those are 2 I'm going to keep together. I'm not going to write food. I'm just going to put nature. And my home. All right. So now let's move on to the next part. Once you have that done, move on to the next part. So you will use the elements of art to communicate feelings. What are the elements of art? This lesson will use shape, line, color, and space. We've talked about lines. So there's straight lines, wavy lines, zigzags, bumpy. Oh, castle's a new one. Loopy. We didn't use loopy, but those are some of the types of lines that you can use. Color, we all know about color. And then space, we have negative and positive space, big space, small space, those kind of things. So let's get started with the rest of this. We're also going to think about patterns. When we see patterns, it helps us. when I looked at this, I don't condone tattoos. I'm not against tattoos, but I thought of tattoos overall, and you understand that a little bit more. But there's like a pattern happening here. It's more one of those temporary tattoos that sometimes they draw on people with some, I don't know if it's ink, but they do, and it's only temporary. You can create patterns with almost anything: shapes, colors, numbers, letters, sounds, etc. So for today's lesson, all you need is paper. A marker would help to outline. Of course, you can also use black crayon or black pencil, colored pencil, and then some crayons. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to trace our hand. And we're going to use the portrait mode. And we're going to make sure we do the wrist as well. So let me get to that part. All right. So I have a pretty big hand here. Your hand might not be as big, so your wrist might be a little bit more than mine. We're just going to trace. I have my fingers open because I want them to be open. I should take my ring off. And again, you're starting off, so you might want to do a very light touch on the pencil. So it's just a sketch, and you can go over it with your marker afterwards to make it darker. So if you make a mistake, you can easily erase it. That's why you want to go light at first. My watch. All right, so hopefully you can see that. My wrist seems to go off too a little. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust that a little bit and don't let the pencil go in as far. And I can always come back and just kind of make it a little bit more uniformed. And I'm going to want that wrist there. You know, you guys are going to probably have a lot more room on your wrist than I do. I have a lot of space in my palm because I have a bigger hand than a lot of you. Here I'm going to just kind of fix that ring. That's where my ring was, and just erased a little bit of that. So that's a good thing about going lightly, so that you can erase any little mistakes or anything that might have gone. And you can always go back and trace it with the marker. All right, so that's the first step. I'm going to pause here, or you can pause it. And then let's look. We're going to divide the space into different areas so you can add your ideas. Look at what he did. This is about patterns and making some kind of patterns, and also using grateful words, things that you are grateful for, thankful for. Drawing balloon letters are going to be good because you're going to be able to color them in. And then this is just one way of doing it. I like the word nature. You see how he did nature with leaves. I like that. He puts a little heart next to health because heart healthy. And then he did music with some music notes. And he put home instead of my home. And then his family. He just did some things around the family as well. Okay? So you get to design it any way you want. Use your imagination and go for it. I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. So there's an idea, and I'm going to be quiet and do mine. You do yours. I'm going to copy a couple things of his. Okay, and I'm going to reorientate this so that I can spell health. I'm going to put my hearts in because I like that. But I'm going to add a little bit of something to the hearts. I'm going to go with that pattern. I'm going to double up my hearts because I have two hearts. No, just kidding. But just give it a little bit of a different feel than his, kind of making it my own. I'm going to fill in some wavy lines here. I kind of like to swim, so one of that could represent me swimming. for my health. You might want to do something else. Okay. I said I was going to be quiet, so I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and allow you to do your work. And I am going to continue on mine. If you need to rewind, go ahead and rewind it and look at it. That's the good thing about the video. You get to look at it at your own pace. Work at it at your own pace as well. Okay? So just take a look, do what you need to do. I'm going to do my work. I think I'm going to write. Oops, I'm doing it again. I'm talking. All right, so you just have some fun with it. Try to figure out what you want to write in each one of your fingers. But then again, you also want to think about what you're going to do for the big parts. The wrist, your wrist is going to be much bigger than mine. I'm going to go ahead and follow his lead with nature. And I'm going to put family as my big word on my palm. Make sure I leave enough space.
And I almost ran out of space here.
It's going to represent each one of us with just some stick figures. My wife's a little shorter than me. My daughter is a little bit taller than her. Then we have my son, who's almost as tall as my daughter. All right, so I still have one more to go. I got my nature, my students, health. Let's see, I think I'm going to do movies. I don't know if some of you know this, but I graduated with a bachelor's in film studies, excuse me, from the University of Santa Barbara. I actually wanted to be a screenwriter or a cinematographer. Kind of lucky with my job because, in a sense, I do get to write some things, and I also get to shoot some things. Sometimes when we shoot things in school, I think about the fact that have some experience. You know, there's some filmmaking happening in our classroom. All right, so movies. Yeah, let's see what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to do a movie strip. I couldn't do that too well, but see what else I can do. Maybe I'll just do a straight one. They have those little dots on the side. Now, of course, nowadays we don't use this kind of movie strips. They use digital stuff, but I'm going to try to make that. Oh, maybe I can do let me do an S here. I'm going to try doing a movie strip on the S, but it didn't work. Let's see. Kind of hard to do it. You're limited on your space. You know what I might do? I might look it up in a little while. And then I have nature over here, and Mr. Knotts made some vines and stuff. We can use what we learned from our other art, where we drew leaves. And nature was food as well, so I'm going to include some fruits and vegetables maybe. Okay, remember you're going to be coloring some of this in, so you want to make sure you have some space to color it in. I'm going to make my vine a little bit thicker so I can color that in. I'm going to try to incorporate one of the letters here, but I think I'm going to hold back on that. Just do a little leaf here. I'm going to use some of that knowledge of when I looked at the leaf. Okay. I'm going to make my vine go off to off the paper, so to speak. So it's like it's continuing. It's kind of interesting too. I could incorporate the vine here too. I'm going to definitely incorporate the heart because I love my family. I'm gonna write some words what I think. I have a lot of space here. You might not have a lot of space because your hands are a little smaller, but I'm just gonna write some words that I think go with family. I could have done a anagram where I could have done fun, laughing, and kind of do those kind of things. Love. I'm going to do that on this one. I'm going to do love on this. I could have been fancy and done the O with the heart. Wouldn't look great. I could have made it look good. Let's see. Gonna add another one to give a little bit of not so much symmetry but balance. It's another thing that happens in art. You want to create some kind of balance or not, you know. It says something about balance. So I'm just going to do some other things and go ahead and do yours. Gonna do some vegetables or some fruits and stuff on this side. Let's see, orange. I'm going to do some grapes. Grapes are not this perfect, but you get the idea. Let's see what else I like. I like pears. I like a lot of fruit. Pineapple. I'm not going to draw a pineapple. I tried drawing a pineapple once and it didn't come out too good. So I won't do that. I'm just going to finish up over here some leaves. And I don't necessarily have to draw it on one side of the vine because that came out nice, if I say so myself. So nature provides us with some fruits and vegetables, so those are some of the things I'm drawing there. Alright, so you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and finish mine and I'll show you in a little while. And then you guys can put yours up on Class Dojo. Don't forget to put yours on Class Dojo. I'm going to come back and I'll show you a little bit more of my finished product. Alright, so I just want to look at my final design. I might add a couple things here or there because there's a couple blank spaces, but this is my basic design. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a couple things. You don't have to fill up all the spaces. Negative space is important as positive space. So I'm going to leave a couple spaces open. I might put a little bit of a leaf coming into this or something like that. But my next step after I finish my design is to color it. So I'll show you this again once I have finished coloring it. So do your best. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so here is my final product. My final product is here. I did a lot with colors and I did leave some empty spaces. Did a little Star Wars there. I found this for family, so I thought that was great. I used some colors here to represent my family members, their favorite colors. And I didn't color everything in. There's some negative space. I created a book and didn't want to overwhelm it with some colors, so I just left it as that. I represented Harry Potter with the red and gold of Gryffindor. I created some sky and some water for his health. And I just did what I could. And once you're grateful for something, hopefully you remember that. You raise your hand and say, I'm grateful for my family, for love, for nature, for students, for home, for books, for health, and movies. So all these things are what I'm grateful for. Hope to see yours up on Class Dojo. And do your best. This is gratefulness is the main thing for this. I did a little bit of patterns. I used a little bit of the leaves that we did before. Okay, so did some wavy lines over here. So do your best. May the force be with you.